A lot of davening to do here. And some of us have a game to watch tonight, that's all I'm saying. At least we're in it. Right, Rick? What, Mort? I can't hear you, Mort. I'm sorry, you saying something, Mort? Do you know, Mort, you're still double the age of the cantor. You know that, don't you? Just saying. So while we're gathering, I invite you to turn to page 134. You'll notice on 135 and then 136, 137, some really cool readings to kind of get us focused on this morning. I invite you to pick one of those readings and maybe read it to yourself, and then we'll rejoin and connect with each other on page 138 with Matovu. So go ahead and pick a reading, read it, and then we'll join together on 138.
continue on the top of page 141. I bless the night that nourished my heart to set the ghosts of longing free into the flow and figure of dream that went to harvest from the dark bread for the hunger no one sees.
All that is eternal in me welcomes the wonder of this day, the field of brightness it creates, offering time for each thing to arise and illuminate.
I place on the altar of dawn the quiet loyalty of breath, the tent of thought where I shelter, waves of desire I am sure to, and all beauty drawn to the eye.
May my mind come alive today to the invisible geography that invites me to new frontiers, to break the dead shell of yesterdays, to risk being disturbed and changed.
May I have the courage today to live the life that I would love, to postpone my dream no longer, but do at last what I came here for and waste my heart on fear no more.
Page 156. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher yatzar et adam bechokma, uברא בו נקבים נקבים, חלולים חלולים, גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך, שאם ייפתח אחד מהם, או ייסתם אחד מהם, אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. 157. I can look at my body as an old friend who needs my help, or an enemy who frustrates me in every way. With his frailty and inability to cope, old friend, I shall try to be of comfort to you to the end. Baruch atah Adonai, rofei chol basar, umafli la'asot. Blessed are you, God, who performs the miracles of creation and healing. As we all say, Amen and Amen. Page 158. We continue responsively on pages 160 and following in the Hebrew.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam אשר נתן לשכל ובינה להבחין בין יום ובין לילה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, פוקח עברים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, מתיר אסורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, זוקף כפופים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, רוקע הארץ על המים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשה לי קור צורכי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המכין מצעדי גבר.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, מלביש ערומים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, הנותן ליעף כוח.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, המעביר שיניים מאתני ותנומה מעפעפי.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בצלם אלוהים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני בן חורים.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, שעשני ישראל.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוזר ישראל בגבורה.
אמן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, עוטר ישראל בתפארה.
Amen. Page 170. join together on the bottom page 172 in the English. Holy One, infinite your power, radiant your glory, unbounded your might, inspiring your works.
המלך יושב על כיסא רם ונישא, שוכן עד מרום וקדוש שמו, וכתוב רננו צדיקים באדוני, לישרים נאווה תהילה.
Page 176.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבב, בעלמא דברה חירותי, וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב, ואמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבא מברך, לעלם ולעלמי עלמיה יתברך. יתברך וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל, שמי דקודשא בריחו, לעילה ולעילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, תמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
We continue with our call to worship Baruch Hu on page 178. Please rise if you are able.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hapoteach lanu sha'arei rachamim, umeir einei hamchakim lislichato, yotzer or uvorei choshech, osei shalom uvorei et hakol, or olam be'otzar chayim, orot me'ofel amar vayehi, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha berachamim, Uvtuvo mechadesh bechol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma'arabu ma'asecha Adonai, kulam bechochma asita mala ha'aretz kinyanecha. Titbarach Adonai Eloheinu, al shavach ma'aseh yadecha, ve'al me'orei or, she'asita yifa'arucha sela. Or chadash al tzion ta'ir, v'niskechu lanu mehera le'oro. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot. Our praise to you, Adonai, creator of the cosmic lights.
Page 181. Like an unbroken current, energy streams from the source, bathing the planet in light, calling forth life, movement, mind unfolding from matter, the power to love. And we offer back to you our own creative energy, ever dreaming, building, shaping patterns out of chaos, searching out light in the darkness. Creation never ceases, not for an instant. All life is aglow with your light. All things draw sustenance from the source. Page 183, we join together on the top of that page. You love us by helping us grow. You give us Torah, a ladder for the soul, words that draw us upward. Every mitzvah, an invitation to climb, forge and kiln and crucible to purify our hearts. You give us Torah. You love us by helping us grow. Feeling that loving energy surrounding us, we turn to pages 186, 187, taking a deep breath in, breathing that sense of love within us, and exhaling out that mishigas, that stuff we don't need to hold on to right now. Another deep breath in. Please be seated as we continue with Ve'ahavta on page 188.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינבתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ושוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. You shall love Adonai your God with all your mind, all your soul, and with all your strength. Set these words which I command you, which I command you this day upon your heart. Teach them faithfully to your children. Speak of them in your home and on your way, when you lie down and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand. Let them be as a symbol before your eyes. Inscribe them on the doorposts of your house and on your gates. Be mindful of all my mitzvot and do them. Thus you will become holy to your God. I am Adonai, your God, who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. I, Adonai, your God.
Okay. 193 in English. True and enduring. All else is fluid, impermanent, fleeting. Unsteady we falter, in chaos we cry, in quest for some certainty, an anchor for trust. Rock of our lives, our shield and protector, you are the constant, abating through time. The rock whose work speaks of our wholeness and justice. You, the still center, fixed point where we stand. From the ends of the earth, from the depths of despair, we call with the psalmist to our fortress and refuge. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I, our rock and salvation, our shelter and strength. Grounded in you, we shall never be shaken. The towers of cities will crumble with age, and iron corrodes and decays into rust. But the words and teachings that echo from Sinai are true and enduring, forever they stand.
Page 195. And they shall know that I, Adonai, am their God, who brought them out of the land of Egypt, that I might abide among them. I, Adonai, their God. You took us out of the darkness, so that your light might dwell among us. You showed us your power to bring down the powerful, uplift the enslaved, transform the social order. You showed us your strength so that we might remember our own. We carry the Exodus vision wherever we go, lest we forget our sense of liberation, lest we lose the joy of breathing free, lest we grow indifferent and blind to others' pain. So long as we work to make you present, we walk the path of freedom, but if we forget to bring you into this world, then we return to the darkness.
Adonai
page 198. In the depths of night, by the edge of the river, Jacob was left alone, and heartfelt longing in the temple of God, Hannah uttered her prayer alone. In the barren wilderness, in doubt and despair, Elijah found God alone. On the holiest day in the Holy of Holies, the high priest entered alone. We are bound to one another in myriad ways, but each soul needs time to itself. In solitude, we meet the solitary one. Silence makes space for the still, small voice. For the psalmist says, deep calls unto deep. From the depths of our soul, we seek what is most profound. Please rise if you are able.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagi tehilatecha. Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, ve'Konei Hakol, ve'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, u'Mevi Geula livnei v'neihem, limon Shemo be'ava. Zochreinu lechaim, melech hafetz b'chaim, v'chotenu b'sefer ha'chaim. Lemancha, Elohim chayim. Melech Hoseh, Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai. Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, mechayei hakol ata, rav lehoshia, morid hatal. Mechakel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech novim berofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, rishenei להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני. ברוך הוא וברוך שמו. בחיי הכל.
Please be seated. We continue on page 209. Today we call it by its rightful name, a day of dread, Nora ve'ayom, unwelcome visitor, for we want to live in a sunny world where God is love and all endings are happy. But the drumbeat sounds and the words tumble down, and even the angels tremble with fear. For all things are judged, and all things will pass, and life ends in a heartbeat, and death knows our name. At the start of the year, in the season of truth, comes the day of remembrance, for all we forget and all we deny, and we fall on our knees in the depths of our hearts, for we know that the bell tolls for us. The words are old and the language was theirs, but the call is real, and the message is ours. Take hold of your life while you still have the chance, for your story will end, and it might be this year, in a way you don't know. Take hold of your life, make things right while you can, and don't miss the call of the day of dread. Page 212.
Vatsama, and who by brave ascent, who by accident, who in solitude, who in this mirror, who by his lady's command, who by his own hand, who in mortal chains, who in power, and who shall I say is calling? Mi varash, umi vamagefa, mi vachanika, umi vaskila. Berosh Hashanah, ikatekun, and
We join together in the middle of page 212. On Rosh Hashanah, this is written. On the fast of Yom Kippur, this is sealed. How many will pass away from this world? How many will be born into it? Who will live and who will die? Who will reach the ripeness of age? Who will be taken before their time? Who by fire and who by water? Who by war and who by beast? Who by famine and who by drought? Who by earthquake and who by plague? Who by strangling and who by stoning? Who will rest and who will wander? Who will be tranquil and who will be troubled? Who will be calm and who tormented? Who will live in poverty and who in prosperity? Who will be humbled and who exalted? Page 214, we continue together. But through return to the right path, through prayer and righteous giving, we can transcend the harshness of the decree. You are everything that we praise you for, slow to anger, quick to forgive. You do not wish the death of sinners, but urge them to return from their ways and live. Until the day of death, you wait for them. You accept them at once if they return. Since you created us, you know our impulses. We are but flesh and blood. Page 216. Together, we who are mortal, our origin is dust and so is our end. We wear out our lives to get our bread. Like broken vessels, like withered grass, like a flower that must fade, a shadow moving on, a cloud passing by, mere dust on the wind, a dream that flies away. But for you, ever-living sovereign, time has no limits. Your presence, unbounded by days and years, is everywhere, a glorious mystery none can decipher. Your name is worthy of you, and you are worthy of your name, and our name you have linked with yours. Page 218, please rise if you are able.
Join me on the middle of page 222. And so, in your holiness, give all creation the gift of awe. Turn our fear to reverence. Let us be witnesses of wonder, perceiving all nature as a prayer come alive. We bow to the sovereignty of your strength, the primacy of your power. We yearn for connection with all that lives, doing your will with wholeness of heart. Awe-inspiring is your creation, all-encompassing your transcendent name.
Page 224. And so, in your holiness, give your people the gift of honor. Bless with praise those who praise you. Bless with hope those who seek you. Give your believers a basis for faith, true happiness for the land of Israel, true joy in Jerusalem. May the sparks of David, your servant, soon grow bright enough for us to see, a beam of light in the darkness, a promise of perfection. Page 224. 6, I'm sorry. I was 220. And so, in your holiness, give the righteous the gift of a vision bright with joy, a world where evil has no voice and the rule of malevolence fades like wisps of smoke. Good people everywhere will celebrate the stunning sight of arrogance gone from the earth.
Page 232. Our God and God of the generations before us, may a memory of us ascend and come before you. May it be heard and seen by you, winning your favor and reaching your awareness, together with the memory of our ancestors, the memory of your sacred city, Jerusalem, and the memory of your people, the family of Israel. May we be remembered for safety, well-being, and favor, for love and compassion, for life and for peace on this day of atonement. Zacharenu Adonai Eloheinu bo l'tova. Come on, people, you got to be on this. Ufokdenu vo livracha. Nice. V'hoshienu vo l'chaim. Eternal, our God, remember us. Amen. Be mindful of us. Amen. And redeem us for a life of goodness and blessing. Amen. Favor us with words of deliverance and mercy. Show us the depth of your care. God, we await your redemption, for you reign with grace and compassion. We continue on page 238.
Page 239. A blue candle is my Zion. Its pure light blesses the silence of this sleeping house. I do not wish to leave. Soon enough, something will take my hand and quietly lead me away.
Page 246.
Sim shalom, sim shalom, sim shalom, tova uveracha, chen v'chesed v'rachamim, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael amechad. Sim shalom, sim shalom.
I invite you to pick a reading on page 247, 249, or 251 that speaks to your heart at this moment, or you may want to offer the prayer that is already in your heart as we pause in silent meditation. continue on page 252 with Avinu Malkeinu. Please rise if you are able. We join together in the English. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, hear our voice. Avinu Malkeinu, we have strayed and sinned before you. Avinu Malkeinu, have compassion on us and our families. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the onslaught of sickness, violence, and hunger. Avinu Malkeinu, halt the reign of those who cause pain and terror. Avinu Malkeinu, enter our names in the book of lives well lived. Avinu Malkeinu, renew for us a year of goodness. Avinu Malkeinu, let our hands overflow with your blessings. Avinu Malkeinu, let our eyes behold the dawn of redemption. Avinu Malkeinu, we pray, do not turn us away from you with nothing. Avinu Malkeinu, welcome our prayer with love, accept and embrace it. Avinu Malkeinu, act toward us as befits your name. Avinu Malkeinu, act for your sake, if not for ours. Avinu Malkeinu, you alone are our sovereign. Avinu Malkeinu, let the gates of heaven be open to our prayer. Avinu Malkeinu, hear our voice, treat us with tender compassion. Avinu Malkeinu, almighty and merciful, answer us with grace, for our deeds are wanting. Save us through acts of justice and love. Page 254. Let the reading of Torah be like prayer, a meditation to remind us what we strive for, a chant that binds us to the chain of generations. Let the reading of Torah be like prayer, a moment of purest solidarity with our people's hopes and history, an invitation to affirm or dissent, to challenge or believe, to ask why or say amen. Let the reading of Torah be like prayer, flowing like waters that renew the spirit, refreshing and sweet to nourish the soul. Let the reading of Torah be like prayer, every word a blessing, every verse a conversation with God.
In Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh v'nora Shemo, Gadol Adonai iti, unero bema Shemo yachdav. Lecha Adonai hagedula v'hagevura v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod. Ki chol bashamayim u'ba'aretz, ki chol bashamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai hamamlacha, ve'amid na'aseh lechol erosh. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu romemu. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu ve'ishtachavu lehar kodsho. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim, ha'olam
could find the brachot on page 258, the Torah reading on page 266 to 268. Take it away, Eric.
For the first Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Ryan Stiskin with The Blessings Before and After by Brandon Frederick.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Atem nitzavim hayom kulchem lifnei Adonai Elohechem Rashechem Shivtechem Ziknechem Veshot Rechem Kol Ish Yisrael Tapchem Neshechem Vager Ha Asher Bekerev Machanecha Mechotef Etzecha Ad Shoef Memecha Lovrecha Bivrit Adonai Elohecha Uvalato Asher Adonai Elohecha Koret Imcha Hayom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
For the second Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Karen White with Blessings Before and After by Ginny Hoffman.
Baruch hu et Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Leman hakimotcha hayom lo liam vehu yelecha le'Elohim kasher diber lach וכאשר נשבע לאלוהיך לאברהם, ליצחק וליעקב. ולא איתכם לבדכם, אנוכי כורת את הברית הזאת ואת העלה הזאת. כי את אשר ישנו פה עמנו מעד היום לפני אדוני אלוהינו, ואת אשר איננו פה עמנו היום.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat hamet, v'hayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
For the third Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Ari Cohen with blessings by Debbie Michaels.
Baruch et Adonai hamavorach. Baruch Adonai hamavorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Amen. V'haya ki yavua alecha kol hadvarim he'eleh havraha vehiklala asher netati lefanecha uveshavota alevavecha vechol hagoyim asher hadecha Adonai Elohecha shama veshavat ad Adonai alecha veshamaat kehol asher anochi mitzavecha hayom ata uvnecha bechol levavecha uvhol nafshecha veshav Adonai alecha et shavota verachamecha veshav kerutza kechol ha'amim asher ha'chefita Adonai Elohecha shama im Adonai nadecha yitzei hashamayim masham v'kitza Adonai Elohecha imashim ikacha.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
For the fourth Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Gemma Bear with blessings before and after by Neil Mandel.
Baruch et Adonai hamarach. Baruch Adonai hamarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Ve'heviacha Adonai Elohecha el haaretz asher yashu avotecha v'yirishta ve'hetivcha V'hirvecha me'avotecha Umal Adonai Elohecha Et levacha ve'et levav zarecha L'man me'aheva Et Adonai Elohecha B'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha L'man hayecha V'natan Adonai Elohecha et kol ha'alot ha'eleh al oivecha ve'al tzonecha asher redavucha ve'ata tashuv v'shonaita v'kol Adonai ve'asita et kol mitzvotav asher Anohi metzavcha hayom.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu emet v'chayei olam naton b'techenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
For the fifth Aliyah, reading from the Torah, is Gracie Dietering, with blessings before and after by Stacy Dietering.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamvarach. Baruch Adonai Hamvarach leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Vehotircha Adonai Elohecha bechol ma'aseh yadecha. Be free vidnecha, be free vehemtecha, be free amadcha letova. Ki yashuv Adonai lasus alecha letov ka'asher sas al avotecha ki tishman bekol Adonai Elohecha lishmor mitzvotav vechukotav haktuva besefer haTorah hazeh ki tashuv el Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha u'chol nafshecha ki hamitzvat hazot asher Anochi mesavecha hayom lo nifleti mimcha velo rechokav hi lo vasham b'mayim hi lemor mim ya'ale lanu hashamayma ve'yikacheha lanu vayashmi'enu otach v'na'asena.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
For the sixth Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Hannah Blichuk with blessings before and after by Sean, Jessica, and Spencer Blichuk.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Velo me'ever layam hi lemor mi ya'avor lanu el ever hayam ve'ashmi'echa lanu ve'ashmi'enu otam ve'natan sena kikaron elecha hadavar me'od beficha ubilvavcha la'asotot re'ei natati lefanecha hayom et hachayim ve'et hatov ve'et hamavet ve'et hara asher anochi metzavecha hayom lecha hava et Adonai Elohecha lalechet bidrachav ve'lishmor mitzvotav ve'chukotav u'mishpatav ve'hayita ve'ravita u'verachecha Adonai Elohecha ba'aretz asher atava asa asha la'aroshtav.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
For the seventh Aliyah, reading from the Torah is Julia Meltzer with blessings before and after by Marcy Gersten.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Ve'im yifne levavcha ve'lo tishma v'nidachta ve'hishtachavita le'elohim acherim va'avatam higadati lachem hayom ki avod tovedun lo ta'arichun yamim al ha'adama asher ata over et hayarden lavo shama larishta ha'idoti vachem hayom et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz hachayim ve'hamavet natahati lefanecha habracha ve'haklala uva בחרת בחיים למען תחיה אתה וזרעך לאהבה את אדוני אלוהיך לשמוע בקולו ולדבקו כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך לשבת על האדמה אשר נשבע אדוני לאבותיך לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לתת להם.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
I want to take the opportunity to thank our amazing Torah readers. Oh my goodness, that was just stupendous. Thank you so much. We continue now as we lift and dress the Torah. I invite you to please rise. It's my honor to invite the... the one and only Ted Edmondson and Morper Land Ferglila. Ted, you're first. Great little guy.
Pull down and push him. Push down, push down. V'zot haTorah asher sam Moshe lifnei bnei Yisrael. U'bi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai
Please be seated. It's my honor to invite David Hyman, the treasurer of our congregation, to do our Devar Haftarah, and also to have Rachel Levy, our amazing Haftarah chanter, to lead in our Haftarah this morning.
Imagine all of us sitting in the synagogue on Yom Kippur. We are many generations, fathers, sons, mothers, daughters, grandparents, dressed in our finest sackcloth and ashes, bowing our heads like reeds. We are trying not to pay attention to the empty feelings in our stomach, a reminder of our fast. We are davening and beating our breasts in hopes that our prayers for atonement will be recognized by the Almighty, just as we do every Yom Kippur. Suddenly, an old man in a long white beard and flowing robes appears on the bema. He rants, declaring that although we are fasting and praying, if we want God to recognize our atonement, we also need to repair the world. He states, "Isn't this the fast God desires? To break the bonds of injustice and remove the heavy yoke? To let the oppressed go free and release all those enslaved? Is it not to share your bread with the hungry and take home the poorless into your home?" Or let's try that again. To take the homeless poor into your home. That man in the flowing robe is Isaiah. He was called by God to deliver a powerful sermon. Isaiah is saying that fasting and praying on Yom Kippur is not enough for our prayers to be accepted by God. We must also perform tikkun olam, or repair the world. We should be paying attention to the needs of the world around us and not to ourselves or our fasting. How should Reformed Jews interpret Isaiah's sermon? Reformed Jews have their individual notions of God. Many Reformed Jews do not believe that God is the old guy in the sky. Some of us may not believe that the Torah was written by the hand of God. While Orthodox Jews follow all 613 laws of the Torah, as Reformed Jews, we choose to follow the rituals and traditions that make our individual religious experiences meaningful. Yom Kippur is no different. Each person atones in their own way. However, in this instance, I think Isaiah's right. According to Alan Zaitchik, who is a member of the North American Board of the URJ, as Reformed Jews, we are charged with using the Torah as a guide to live meaningful lives and making the world a better place. Prayer without tikkun olam seems incomplete to me. We were slaves in Egypt, strangers in a strange land. Throughout history, Jews have been forced to be strangers in strange lands. We know what persecution is and how it feels. We do not want to perpetuate those sins against others. Performing tikkun olam is a way to make sure that we do not turn into our oppressors. Regardless of whether it is written in the Torah or not, tikkun olam is important to humanity. How do we do tikkun olam? It can be accomplished by giving time or by giving money. Writing a check allows those who have dedicated their time to doing the work necessary to alleviate suffering, narrow opportunity gaps, and correct injustices in our society. In my personal experience, giving time provides you a deeper understanding of the issue you're trying to correct. Tikkun olam can mean giving bottles of water to the individuals holding the cardboard signs at the end of the off-ramps or in the medians at the stoplights. It can mean tutoring a student who is learning English as a second language. It can mean cooking a meal for the elderly person across the street. In addition to the humanitarian aspects of tikkun olam, there are environmental concerns as well. In terms of a geological time frame, we are here on this earth, but for a brief moment. However long we are here, we need to make sure we leave the earth in a better condition than we found it. We need to ensure that the skies, mountains, and waters are left sustainable for many, many generations to come. If you do not know where to start to find a group or issue you are passionate about, Temple Emanu-El sponsors many groups that address a variety of issues, and those groups would gladly welcome your help. If there's an issue you think that needs a solution and the temple is not addressing it, start your own group. The Yom Kippur liturgy provides many examples of the behavior we should try to change. The confessional Al-Hate sums it up well. For the sin we have committed before you by hardening our hearts, ignoring poverty, homelessness, and despair. For the sin we have committed before you by exploitation, living well while those serving us live in poverty. For the sin we have committed before you by silence, saying nothing when we knew that human beings were being mistreated. Saying those words can be very spiritual, but to walk out of the synagogue today and not incorporate the meaning of those words into your daily lives somehow misses the point. In my opinion, being a good Reformed Jew means figuring out which rituals and traditions have meaning for you and practicing them. Then look locally and globally for causes that are crying out for attention. Try to alleviate those causes, not just on Yom Kippur, but on all of the rest of the days of the year as well.
The Haftarah blessings are on page 275, Haftarah, page 277.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nvi'im tovim v'ratza v'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai habocher b'Torah uv'Moshe avdo uv'Yisrael amo uv'invi'ei ha'emet v'tzedek. Kera vegaron ala tachsoch kashofar harem kolecha vehaged le'ami pisham ulevet Yaakov hatotam ve'oti yom yom yidroshun ve'da'at derachai yechpatzun kegoy asher zedakah asa umishpat Elohav lo azav yishaluni mishpatei tzedek kirvat Elohim yechpatzun la'amazanu ve'lo ra'ita ininu nafshenu ve'lo teda ein beyom zomechem timzeu chefetz v'chalot vechem tingosun ein lerivu matzah tatzumu ulechakot be'egrov resha lo tatzumu chayom lehashmiya b'marom kolechem chachazeh somev chareu yom anot adam nafsho halechov keagmo rosho vesak va'efer yatzia halezet yigratzom ve'yom ratzon ladonai. Halo sezom evhareu patecha hartzubot resha hater agudot motah veshalach retzutzim havshim vechal motah tenateku Halo paros laraev lachmecha ve'ani merudim tavi vayit kitire arom vehisito umibsarecha lotitalam az ibaka kashechar orecha ve'aruchatecha mehera tisma ve'halach lafnesha zidkecha kevod Adonai yasefecha az tikra ve'Adonai ya'aneh Teshava vayomar hineni im tasir mitochecha mota shelach etzba v'daber aven v'tafek laraev nafshecha v'nefesh na'ena tishbiya v'sarach b'choshech orecha Va'afelatecha katzoraim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, sur kol amim, sadik b'chol hadorot, ha'el ha'neman, ha'omer ve'oseh, hamdaber umkayem, shekol devarav emet tzedek, al ha'torah ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al ha'neviim, ve'al Yom Kippurim hazeh, shenatata lanu, Adonai Eloheinu, limchila ve'lislicha ulhapara, lechavod ultifaretz, al hakol, Adonai Eloheinu, anachnu modim lach, umbarchim otach, yitbarak shimcha, befi kol hai tamid le'olam va'ed, udevarcha emet, ve'kayam la'ad, baruch atah Adonai, melech mocher v'soleach la'anotenu, anot ben Yisrael, uma'avir ashmotenu, bechal shana v'shana, melech al kol haaretz, mekadesh Yisrael ve'yom HaKippurim.
Please join me on page 284. Prayer for our congregation. Eternal presence who blessed our mothers and fathers, bless this holy congregation, a house of study, prayer, and righteous deeds. Together we give thanks for our leaders, those who learn, teach, and uphold the Torah, inspiring others to learn, teach, and uphold the Torah, those who do the sacred work of building our community. May their service bring them joy, fulfillment, and purpose, and may they go from strength to strength. For our members, diverse in age, interest, and background, Jews by birth, Jews by choice, and those of other faiths who join with us, all who offer their time and talent, their love and commitment. For all who come here on this holy day of Yom Kippur to share the search for meaning and renewal, your presence is a blessing. Your friendship is a gift. May the spirit of peace, dignity, and respect live within these walls, inspiring us to care for one another with compassion. And may we be a source of goodness, light, and healing for the world. May the one who blessed the generations before us Bless us as we stand together this day, one congregation joined with all Jewish communities of the world, through our prayers on this Day of Atonement. Let us renew ourselves for the year ahead. Let us honor the precious legacy that is ours.
Page 285. For all who teach Torah and their students, may heaven grant redemption and grace, kindness and compassion, length of days and ample sustenance, divine support, bodily health, and spiritual enlightenment, and offspring who will live and endure and never abandon the study of Torah, to our teachers and rabbis of holy communities in the land of Israel and in the diaspora, to our religious and communal leaders, spiritual mentors and guides, to all their students and students of their students, and to all who engage in the study of Torah. May the sovereign of the universe bless them all, prolonging their lives with fullness of days and length of years. May they be delivered from all trouble and saved from serious illness. May our heavenly teacher be their help on every occasion and at all times. And let us say, Amen. Page 286. Prayer for our country. God of holiness, we hear your message. Justice, justice you shall pursue. God of freedom, we hear your charge. Proclaim liberty throughout the land. Inspire us through your teachings and commandments to love and uphold our precious democracy. Let every citizen take responsibility for the rights and freedoms we cherish. Let each of us be an advocate for justice, an activist for liberty, a defender of dignity. And let us champion the values that make our nation a haven for the persecuted, a beacon of hope among the nations. May our actions reflect compassion for all people within our borders and abroad. May our leaders and officials embody the vision of our founders to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. We pray for courage and conscience as we aim to support our country's highest values and aspirations, the hard-won rights that define us as a people, the responsibilities that they entail. We pray for all who serve our country with selfless devotion, in peace and in war, from fields of battle to clinics and classrooms, from government to the grassroots, all those whose noble deeds and sacrifice benefit our nation and our world. We are grateful for the rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness that our founders ascribed to you, our Creator. We pray for their wisdom and moral strength, that we may be guardians of these rights for ourselves and for the sake of all people, now and forever.
Page 288, a prayer for a state of Israel. Avinu, you who are high above all nations, states, and peoples, Rock of Israel, the one who has saved us and preserved us in life, bless the state of Israel, first flowering of our redemption. Be her loving shield, a shelter of lasting peace. Guide her leaders and advisors by your light of truth. Instruct them with your good counsel. Strengthen the hands of those who build and protect our holy land. Deliver them from danger. Crown their efforts with success. Grant peace to the land, lasting joy to all her people. And together we say, Amen.
We continue on page 290. Please rise if you are able. Yalalu et Shem Adonai ki niskav shemo levado All praise God's name, for God's name alone is truly sublime. A precious teaching I have given you, my Torah. Do not forsake it. A tree of life to those who hold it fast. All who embrace it know happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace. Take us back, Adonai. Let us come back to you. Renew in our time the days of old. Please be seated. This may come as a shock, but I love being Jewish, and I love synagogue life. As I said last night, I think we are part of something pretty special. I love the freedom and universalism of Reformed Judaism. I love the balance of intellect and experience, of rational and spiritual actions. I love the relationships we are building in our community, both with other faith communities and with other Tikkun Olam-minded organizations. Truth be told, I've always loved being a Jew. I remember as a child experimenting with kashrut and keeping my head covered regularly. I did not always like Hebrew school because unlike our school, we had teachers that were mean. Oy, that Varda in Hebrew, Aleph Hebrew, I still get the sweats thinking about her. But thankfully, my home synagogue when I was a child got a great director of education, and the program changed. It became student-centered and much more experiential. It was a great place to grow up, build my Jewish identity, and I even had the opportunity to learn how to teach. But something happened when I was nearly 16 years old that was a game changer. I had saved up my money by working on my brother's television show. He was on the Waltons, and I was Atmosphere. Atmosphere is a nicer word for being an extra, a person that walks around in the background, or someone who's in the schoolhouse, or in this case, often sitting in the pews of church. Well, look, it was a show that took place in Virginia in the South. I was able to be part, though, of something incredible, and that was the Los Angeles Bureau of Jewish Education's Ulpan to Israel. I had completed confirmation class, and this was my gift to myself for that milestone. I was in Israel for 9 weeks, based at the foot of Mount Carmel near Zikron Yaakov. It is interesting that one of the strongest memories I have of that trip is the 2 weeks we spent waking up at 3 a.m. and picking potatoes. For most of us, it was the first time we actually did manual labor. And boy, did we kvetch and kvetch and kvetch. If you were in Israel in the late 70s, then you know Israel looked very, very similar to a third world country. There were no supermarkets or freeways. Technology was not a thing yet. It was agrarian, rural, newly developed or underdeveloped. And there were little creature comforts. You had two choices of toilet paper, sandpaper or wax paper. But what a great place to be as a young teenager. Israel was full of opportunities and possibilities, and the connection to our ancient past was overwhelming to experience. I was used to something being old if it had existed for a couple hundred years. In Israel, there were so many archaeological sites from the Roman period and even as far back as the time of King David. We saw sites from the Talmudic period to the Crusades, the biblical period through the modern period. I was stepping on dirt and sand that my ancestors stepped on, and I thought it was the coolest thing. Those 9 weeks were transformative, and I came back from that experience a very different person. I had a better understanding of Israel historically and how the modern state was established. I learned that my Jewish identity is part of something much larger than me. I came back with a renewed sense of connection to Israel and a greater purpose. So too, my calling I felt at 9 years old became truly concretized. For at that stage of life, I needed to feel more Jewish, and that is when I started to keep kosher, which I would do in some form or fashion until around 28 years old, which is a long time ago now. I returned to Israel in 1988 in my first year of rabbinic school. I was newly married, living in an apartment in Jerusalem, attending Hebrew Union College Jewish Institute of Religion. It was an incredible year of growth and learning. During the opening summer, we had an intense ulpan or crash course in Hebrew, and then we spent 3 weeks at an active archaeological site, Tel Dan. They have recently opened up Tel Dan for visitors, so it was nice to visit there the last couple of temple trips to Israel. It is a beautiful location in the north of Israel, and we had a blast digging away. The site itself was overseen by Dr. Avram Biran, the chief archaeologist of Israel, and it so happens an HUC professor as well. And HUC, our Reformed seminary, had oversight responsibility for Tel Dan. That location is where they found the oldest object from the time of King David. Unfortunately, that was not found when we were digging, but we found some cool shards and such anyway. Being at HUC Jerusalem for the year was fantastic. We were students and we were living as Israelis, and we had time to try to have a balanced experience while there. I balanced out my student responsibilities with being a big brother to a young boy named Dror, whose father recently had died. He was in the 4th or 5th grade, and I had the Hebrew vocabulary and ability of a kindergartner. He spoke no English, so I was motivated to work on my Hebrew. I believe I was able to get it up to a 3rd grade level. I was also able to play in the Jerusalem Fast Pitch Softball League for 2 seasons. The softball league was made up of mostly newer immigrants to Israel and other American types. It was fun, and it was a good connection to other Americans who were not in my seminary. I also learned about Israeli cuisine, and a few of us started a cooking group where we would cook for each other. There was so much that year that was special. I appreciated the opportunity to live like an Israeli, which may have meant a half a day at the bank, but it also meant getting used to a completely different rhythm of life, something us Americans need to experience periodically. I remember one time in my neighborhood of Kofshi Kataman, where my apartment was, there were these little shops. One day a mother is with her baby who was sleeping in a stroller. I see her leave the baby in the stroller on the sidewalk, and she goes into the cheese shop. The baby begins to cry, and a stranger comes up to the stroller and rocks it back and forth. A few minutes later, the mother comes out of the store. They exchange pleasantries, and then they part ways. They didn't know each other. What? I just witnessed not child neglect, but what it feels like when your country is also your family. There were so many examples I witnessed of people being there for each other in every which way. Granted, your business in Israel is everyone's business in Israel. But the caring I felt while living there was unbelievable. Apartment doors were unlocked and accessible to others. The communal nature of Israel was overwhelming to me. But wow, was it connecting, and I loved it. During my year in Israel, we had opportunities for tiulim trips throughout the country, and we had vacation time as well. I decided on one of my breaks to stay in an art colony in the north, Ein Hod. One of our professors at the seminary in Jerusalem lived there most of the year, and so a couple of us decided to spend time with him. Ein Hod was and still is a very cool art colony. In fact, I have returned there a couple of times on our temple trips. Sculptures, art, creative architecture, and dare I say, a hippie feel to the place captured us. It was so progressive in its expressions of art, so open in its views of different things. It was so refreshing to see. Living in Israel for the year meant that there were many, many unique experiences, like Purim in the spring of 1989. A bunch of us decided to travel to Tel Aviv and see what it would be like. It was the only place at that time where you could get the closest thing to an American hamburger. I remember the restaurant, it was called Mash Burger, based on the TV show MASH, really interesting. The decorum back there was very crazy. And after a taste of home, we took to the streets of Tel Aviv, good old Dizengoff Street, and it was absolute madness. I have never seen a communal catharsis like I saw that evening. I think the best costume I saw was a man who had a plastic tushy on his face. I learned quickly that Israelis work with passion, and they play with even greater passion. On the campus of HUC in Jerusalem, we had a great community. We had Israelis and Palestinians who worked as our support, be it custodial, gardening, and such. We had friends in East Jerusalem who were Palestinians, and we traveled there and hung out. On Christmas, our choir sang in Bethlehem. It was very, very different in the late 80s. One of my favorite classes was on understanding the Israeli government and how Israel evolved to where it was. We spent a lot of time trying to learn and understand the Israeli government. And our professor, Paul Lips, is to this day one of the great thinkers of Israel. But the one thing about politics in Israel that was the opposite of what I've experienced in the States was everyone in Israel is willing and wanting to tell you what they think. The idea that we don't talk politics or religion in Israel does not exist. Even to this day, ask the taxi driver what he thinks about the political situation, and he will tell you what he thinks and tell you what you should think. I love that openness. Last year, I expressed my belief about Israel, and I appreciated the 99% of positive feedback I heard. And I also truly understand the small percentage of those who felt that on Yom Kippur, we should not criticize Israel and its prime minister. I'll give you a break this year. I respect that even if my words were from my heart. What matters is that we express ourselves and engage in thoughtful conversation. I stand by my statements about Israel, and I wish I could report things have changed from last year as we wait and see what happens with Israel's new government. When I lived in Israel in 1988-89, we saw the government form as a unity government between Likud and Labor. And then it collapsed, and then it reformed again. So the roller coaster nature of Israeli politics is nothing new. But on this Yom Kippur, I felt like it was worth separating out the politics from the land. Because like our own country, the ideals, meaning and impact Israel has, transcends any leader's mishagas. To love Israel is to love its many layers and contradictions, its passions and its frustrations. And it is our spiritual homeland that you can only truly understand when you are there amongst our people. Israel is absolutely vital for our Jewish identity as Jews. As we know today, a trip to Israel for a young person has the power to create a strong foundation for Jewish identity. We can't teach that in our religious schools. We can get close to it at our Jewish camps like Newman and 5 Points, but nothing does it better than being in Israel. We learn best when we are engaged and when we are open to learning and listening to others. Like I said on Rosh Hashanah, the school of Hillel was the authoritative voice of Talmud because the participants learned the school of Shammai's views first before their own. They understood what it was to listen to the other. So too should that be our goal this year. I invite you to join me in our upcoming Israel trip, May of next year. We'll have real conversations about Israel, and we'll be listening to members of the Knesset, leaders of Shoresh, which include Israelis and Palestinians who live in the territories. We'll hear from professors and interfaith leaders. We'll learn with Reformed Jewish professionals and experience Israel from a deeper cultural perspective than a regular first-timers trip. Israel is very misunderstood, especially in this country. If you read the local press or hear the rhetoric at university and colleges throughout our country, then you know this to be true. And the best way to learn about Israel is not by reading any of those articles or listening to any of these people, but it's about being there yourself. Ahavat Yisrael, love of Israel, is part of my Jewish identity. In fact, I cannot separate out my Jewish identity and Israel. They are interconnected. And from that love comes great pride, because as challenging as Israel can be politically, the one truth I know to be certain is that Israel as a country does far more good than it does bad. And for its teeny size, it gives more to this world and even to those that hate it than it ever receives from anyone. Ahavat Yisrael, love of Israel, is a Jewish value that we all need to strengthen. We do not know what is next for Israel, but what we do know is that Israel will exist, and I believe the best of Israel has yet to come. Yes, there will be challenges, there will be frustrations, there will be moments of trying to understand what the government is doing, but so too the Israeli people are a loving, passionate, and caring people, and we are family. They need us, and we need them. It is time to get closer as a family, and it is time to embrace the unique Jewish community in each location. Israeli Jews and American Jews can be very different, but should always be connected. Let us work on our connection together, because the best way to overcome anti-Semitism is for our two communities to work together. If you've not been to Israel, go. And if you've been to Israel, go again and again and again. May this new year bring our Jewish communities closer. May we see what we have in common as opposed to what separates us. And may our love for Israel grow stronger and stronger. Amen. Page 293. We join together. Because I was angry, because I didn't think, because I was exhausted and on edge, because I've been drinking, because I can be mean, because I was reckless and selfish, because I worried about money, because my marriage was dead, because other people were doing it, because I thought I could get away with it, because I did something wrong, because I'm in pain, because I wish I could undo it again, because I hurt him, because I lost her trust, because I let them down, because I was self-destructive, because I was foolish, because I'm shamed, because that's not who I am, because it's not who I want to be, because I want to be forgiven. God, bring down my walls of defensiveness and self-righteousness. Help me to stay in humility. Please give me the strength to do what's right. Page 299. Together, for the sin we committed against you through evading and avoiding, because we could not face the truth. For our flight into hypocrisy and deception, because we did not dare to speak it. For the facts we dissembled and all we glossed over, for the excuses we made. For feeding our bodies and starving our souls. For interfering with the souls of others and neglecting their needs. For shifting our responsibilities, for reproaches and recriminations. For our foolishness, our folly and false standards. For seeing these things only in others, never in ourselves. For our complacency which blinds us, and our self-righteousness which lessens us. For calculating kindness and measuring out pity. For charity that is cold and prayers without feeling. For withholding our love. For the appeals that we ignored and the people whom we refused. For the affection which died and our lives that became bitter. For the visions which faded, the ideals we neglected, and the opportunities we lost. For the fear of change and renewal and our unbelief. For saying prayers aloud but refusing to listen. For being our own worst enemies. We continue silently with a personal confession on page 301. Page 307. We join together. We confess our sins against the earth. We commit ourselves to saving it. We have assaulted our planet in countless ways. We have blamed others for the spiraling, deepening crisis. We have consumed thoughtlessly and irresponsibly. We have driven myriad species to the point of extinction. We have exhausted irreplaceable resources. We have failed to transcend borders and act unselfishly. We have given in to our many appetites and our gluttony. We have harmed beyond repair the habitats of living beings. We have ignored the signs of change in our climate and our seasons. We have jeopardized the well-being of future generations. We have known the problem but left problem solving to others. We have lost sight of our role as God's partners in creation. We have mocked cynically those who love creatures great and small. We have neglected the environment, most of all in places of poverty. We have overpopulated our cities and overfished our oceans. We have polluted seashore and sky, fertile soil and freshwater springs. We have questioned and doubted solid evidence of danger. We have ravaged the old growth forests, ecosystems created over centuries. We have spewed poison into the bloodstream of our land, its rivers, lakes, and estuaries. We have transformed dazzling beauty into industrial ugliness. We have used shared resources for personal gain and corporate profit. We have violated the commandment, do not destroy. We have wasted precious treasures, our God-given gifts. We have exploited the weakest and most vulnerable in our midst. And yet we yearn to be better guardians of this earth and the fullness thereof. Let us be zealous now to care for this unique corner of the cosmos, this planet, our sacred home. We continue silently with our Cheshbon HaNefesh. Page 313. Let us affirm the good we have done. Let us acknowledge our acts of healing and repair. For the good we have done by acting with self-restraint and self-control. Together, for the good we have done through acts of generosity and compassion. For the good we have done by offering children our love and support. For the good we have done by honoring our parents with care and respect. For the good we have done through acts of friendship and hospitality. For the good we have done through acts of forgiveness and reconciliation. For the good we have done by keeping promises and honoring commitments. For the good we have done through the work of our hands and by serving others. For the good we have done by caring for the earth and sustaining its creatures. For the good we have done by housing the homeless, feeding the hungry, and welcoming the stranger. For the good we have done by acting with integrity and honesty. For the good we have done through thoughtful and encouraging words. For the good we have done by caring for our health and that of our loved ones. For the good we have done by strengthening our Jewish community. For the good we have done through acts of civic engagement and tikkun olam. All these have brought light and healing into the world. May these acts inspire us to renew our efforts in the year to come. Page 316.
תקבל ברחמים, ברחמים וברצון את
Shana Tova. My name is Eric Snyder, and I'm honored to be here representing Temple Emanu-El's Board of Trustees this morning. It's a pleasure to see all of you here and those of you who are live streaming our service, and to be sharing this Yom Kippur observance with you as one congregational family. Please take a moment to say hello to the many new friends that are joining us today for the first time here at High Holy Days services. To those of you who are new to our congregation, please stop by our Shalom table on the right of the exit doors, where we have flyers and information on all our upcoming temple programs and activities, including Sukkot. There will be membership and temple representatives in the lobby if you have questions. We want to express our gratitude to Yuri Gottfeld, Brotherhood, and all of our volunteers, temple administrative and custodial staffs, for their hard work setting up the bima and all the other preparations that go into creating this beautiful atmosphere for us to worship together appropriately. We appreciate your flexibility in sharing prayer books. If you are using a temple prayer book, please leave it on the table as you leave the sanctuary. The High Holy Days continue after Yom Kippur with an array of Sukkot events. Check your handout or flyers on the Shalom table for details about our Erev Sukkot First Night Fiesta on Sunday, October 13th, Scotch in the Sukkah on Tuesday the 15th, Sangria in the Sukkah on Wednesday the 16th, and Sushi in the Sukkah for those in their 20s and 30s on Thursday, October 17th. The High Holy Day season concludes with Simchat Torah, starting with a pizza dinner to which all are invited on Sunday, October 20th, Sunday evening. This is followed by a festive service which includes Israeli dancing, unrolling the Torah around the sanctuary, and the consecration of new students in our religious school. Then, the final service of this High Holy Day season will be the Simchat Torah morning and Yitzkor service at 9 a.m. on Monday, October 21st in the chapel. If you've not yet contributed to our High Holiday Food Drive, the barrels will continue to be available for your kind donations at Temple Emanu-El through Simchat Torah. Please view the poster in the lobby for times and locations for all of the services and events taking place today, starting with the rabbi's sermon and discussion at 12:30 and concluding this afternoon at 4:45 p.m. with Yitzkor, Nila, and Havdalah. We encourage you to bring your shofar so that we can surround this sanctuary with a communal blast. After Havdalah, please join us for Break the Fast in the Roosevelt Room. Thank you to all of our Break the Fast sponsors for making this community event possible. As Steve Crandell mentioned in his talk on Erev Rosh Hashanah, this is a special year for members and friends of Temple Emanu-El. Our annual campaign helps support the day-to-day temple operations, as it has for years, and is very important that it continue without interruption. But in this, and only this High Holy Day season, can we also be part of the future of our congregation with a gift to the 2020 Vision Project, which will take our temple into the next 50 years. A special year with special implications is worthy of a special effort. Thanks in advance for being part of both efforts. I want to take this opportunity to wish you and your families a very happy new year, one filled with good health and peace. May you have an easy fast and Gemar Hatima Tova.
I want to take the opportunity to thank our amazing musicians and wonderful choir for adding so much to our service. I also want to take the opportunity to thank our ritual committee, especially Brendan Frederick and Maggie Cant, for really making so much happen behind the scenes, and for the two of you for making sure everyone's schlepping up here. And by and large, you did fabulous, so thank you so much. And just to remind you, please stay hydrated, whatever your minhag or custom is. Please stay hydrated. And don't be a hero. Those of you, you know if you should be eating or not. The thing I ask is, if you eat today, don't enjoy it. This is not a day for like an In-N-Out burger. I'm sorry. This is not the day for that, or such things. And do your blessing beforehand. And Kendra, you go rest. Great job. And we'll see you all later. G'mar Chatima Tova. We'll begin the sermon discussion about 2 minutes. Alvin will need 2 mics, one on each side here.